What's up, my guys and geeks? The Percy Jackson TV series releases this December on Disney Plus, and I cannot wait.
This is gonna be great.
So I figured in the excitement leading up to the release of the TV show, I would go ahead and give some Percy Jackson rankings. So today I'm going to be ranking my top 5 Percy Jackson characters from the least most favorite to the most favorite. Let's do this! Alright, if you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for more awesome content. And be sure to give me your ranking in the comments down below. My list isn't the right list. Let me know who your 5 favorite characters are. And one note before we start, I have read the Kane Chronicles and Magnus Chase books, and I did consider those characters for this video. It's just none of them made my top 5. But kicking it off in 5th place, we've got Annabeth Chase.
Come on, guys. Let's hit the road before Homeland Security shows up.
And Annabeth is an interesting character because when you first meet her, she's very antagonistic towards Percy. Doesn't really seem to like him that much, seems very guarded and disappointed by him. But over the course of the several series she's in, you get to see her grow and evolve as a character. You see how she moves beyond the things of her past that are holding her back and grows into the hero she should be. She's very immensely hopeful and optimistic that things will work out for the best. And sometimes I enjoy that, like when she's continually searching for Percy in the Heroes of Olympus books. But sometimes it does tend to frustrate me, like when she keeps defending Luke and trying to say he's a good guy or getting upset when anybody vilifies him, even though he's clearly working for Kronos. But overall, I particularly enjoyed getting to see her really take center stage in Mark of Athena and get to see how she overcomes her inherent weaknesses and some of her past traumas to grow into the strong hero that she ultimately becomes. So that's it for Annabeth. But next up in 4th place, we've got Luke Castellan.
Welcome to the modern world.
And Luke's another fascinating character because when you first meet him, he's giving off that older brother vibes, very fun, helpful, charming. But then it's eventually revealed that he is a traitor and that he's actually working with Kronos. And personally, I enjoy him more after the twist reveal because I enjoy getting to look into the conflicted nature of his character. You can see how his background and his past really led him to become who he is today, how he was left alone as a child with his mother, who was kind of crazy after trying to take on the power of the Oracle, and how really that scarred him and how he kind of blamed his dad for never being around. But Hermes knew that at the end of the day, Luke would ultimately help save the day and defeat Kronos, but also knew that there was going to be a long and dark path to get there. And so Hermes felt like he couldn't really intervene, otherwise he'd change Luke's destiny. And all this combined to leave Luke feeling abandoned by the Olympians and feeling like he and the other half-blood heroes were really ignored by the Olympians, and he really believes he's right in the actions he's taken, and I think it's so interesting to see that. And yet also his lack of willingness or lack of desire to hurt his fellow half-bloods, how he's willing to fight when he has to, but he would much rather get Percy and Annabeth and Thalia and all the others on his side because he ultimately believes he's in the right and that the outcome he's seeking is what's best for all half-bloods. So I just found him a very interesting and very conflicted character right up to the very end. But next up in 3rd place, we got Grover Underwood.
Yeah, the politically correct term is satyr.
Grover is a great character. Like the other 2 characters higher up on this list, he's got a very comedic and lighthearted side to him. He's often the comic relief, but he's also a very interesting character. He's quirky and eccentric, but also very passionate. He's very excited about nature. He very much wants to find Pan, and that pretty much guides all of his actions for the first pretty much 4 books. And then after he eventually does find Pan, you get to see him step up and become a leader when he's chosen to be in charge of the satyrs and head up all of their nature conservation efforts. So it's just interesting to see him step up, really underutilized, not in the Heroes of Olympus and barely in Trials of Apollo. But I haven't gotten to read the new book, Chalice of the Gods, I believe it is. I'm looking forward to getting to read that and get to see more of the original trio together, because Grover is just such a great character. And also, I think there's this very interesting side to him in that he's got the maturity of Percy and Annabeth, but he's like 26 years old when he first meets them. So I think it's incredibly interesting, and I would like for the TV show to explore a bit more kind of the interesting aspect of Grover, that he is that old and yet he's maturing alongside these much younger characters. Kind of how he balances that maturity and the experiences he's had. But alright, before I go ahead and give you my top 2 characters, be sure to give me your top 5 in the comments down below. I'd love to see your list. You can also send them to me on Instagram at the Brothers Fleming, and I'll share some to my stories if I get any. But alright, going next into second place, we have Leo Valdez, the only character on this list not from the original set of 5 books. And Leo's just a great character because he stays consistent to who he is, the lighthearted, jokey, funny guy who's incredibly innovative and inventive and brilliant. But you get to see him grow from at the beginning of Heroes of Olympus. He's kind of the odd man out. He's kind of the loner, the third wheel, as it were. He doesn't really feel like he fits in with his friends, no matter what combination they're in. And you get to see how he evolves from that to, by the end of the series, the guy who's ready and willing to sacrifice himself and has the brilliance and genius to figure out a way to do that in order to save his friends, but also is able to figure out a way to come back from that and really achieve everything he wants. And he didn't get as much character development in Trials of Apollo as I would have liked, but I still enjoyed him as a character, and I always enjoy it when he pops up in a story. But of course, in first place, as we all knew he would be, we have Percy Jackson.
This is a pen. This is a pen.
And Percy's he's the best character we could possibly be seeing this story through, because we get to experience everything with him, from him first discovering that he's a half-blood and going to the camp and getting training, to becoming a warrior and really learning to stand up and always consistently fighting to protect his friends, and getting to see really him grow into the amazing hero that he ultimately becomes. And he just keeps trying and trying and trying no matter what. And just also very refreshing to see he has a very clear sense of right and wrong. Some other characters often get clouded or confused or make biased decisions, but you can pretty much count on Percy to make the best decision possible. And if that means he has to sacrifice himself or sacrifice something he wants in order to protect his friends, then he will absolutely do that. But alright, those are my top 5 Percy Jackson characters. Be sure to let me know yours in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for more awesome Geek Space content. If you want to see how Percy Jackson and Harry Potter are in the same universe, you can click on this side of the screen. And if you want to see me react to all the Percy Jackson TV show casting announcements, you can click on this side of the screen. But you've only got 3 seconds because this video is about to end. Adios!